I had a McDonald's for breakfast. Welcome along to another breakfast with TNC. I hope you guys are doing fantastically well. Jack Reeve, TalkNorwichCity, back for another video. Before I get into the video, as always, a massive thank you to the Bridge Inn for sponsoring this series. The series where I eat breakfast and talk about Norwich City. The perfect combination. Yes, this is going up mid-afternoon. I've been very busy this morning. I ate breakfast about midday. I've had work this morning, but I still wanted to get a video out today because I haven't had too many breakfasts with TNCs this week. I've been up in Edinburgh this week with Amy. It's been a pretty hectic week actually, but I just wanted to sit down, reflect on this week, and just talk to you guys really. If you do want to take advantage of the Bridge Inn, not take advantage of them, we're not like mugging them or anything. Go down there and basically say that you've watched the Talk Norwich City videos, and you can get 2 meals for £10.95. So take your loved one, take your enemy, whoever you want. I wouldn't take your enemy because it's decent food. You don't really want to treat your enemy. But yeah, Bridge Inn, 2 meals for £10.95. Go down there, say that you watched Talk Norwich City. Bob is your uncle. Fanny is your aunt. Anyway, what a week it's been. A busy, busy week. Newcastle on Tuesday. Burton Albion away yesterday. 1 point picked up. Yeah. Is the playoffs over? Probably. Tuesday night, full of optimism, full of excitement. A great performance against a very decent Newcastle side. 1-0 behind after 20 seconds. Get it back 2-1 and then concede a fairly late equaliser. But you take a point. You know, you take a point at home against Newcastle, a side who are probably they're definitely going to go up this season. And then you travel to Burton, who are struggling down in the bottom, haven't picked up many wins this season. You think, right, if we win here, then you know it sets us up perfectly for the derby, puts us into a nice little distance, keeps that distance nice and tight between us and Sheffield Wednesday for the playoffs, and we go and screw it up, don't we? And we should have probably learned this season that it would have gone that way. Our away form has been quite abysmal. 4 away wins all season. Me and my mates were working out at about 10 o'clock last night in a McDonald's service station as we travelled back from the umpteenth game that we've been to this season. We have seen 7 away wins in the last 2 seasons following Norwich City. Now, I've missed a few of them. I missed Cardiff away, and I missed Man United away last season. So I have seen 5 away wins in the last 2 seasons. That is woeful. But we still do it to ourselves. We still go. We still follow the boys. And as you can tell, I'm pretty chilled out, you know. I think the playoffs are probably gone now. They're not over. Of course it's not over. You know, there's a long way to go and stranger things have happened. That's for sure. But I tweeted out last night that I've seen a lot of shite this season, but yesterday was by far the worst. And I'll get onto the game in a little bit, but I think the playoffs are gone. Jake Humphrey quoted it and was basically like, there's 30 points or whatever left. There's a long way to go. And that is very true. There is a long way to go. And as I've said, stranger things have happened. But I just can't see Norwich City picking up enough points to go on and win this game. I do think teams above us will lose games. I think we might beat a few of the teams above us, maybe at home. But away from home, I cannot see us picking up enough points needed to go and get them playoffs. I think if Sheffield Wednesday win their game in hand, they'll now be 10 points clear of us. That is a big, big margin to shut down. And I know we've got Sheffield Wednesday in a few weeks. If we beat them, then I don't know, it could be on again. If we beat Ipswich and they lose, then you never know. But I just can't see us having the consistency to go forwards and get the playoffs. And someone tweeted me earlier and he was like, football is a fickle game, isn't it? You know, we all thought we'd get the playoffs a few weeks ago and now everyone's pretty sort of wrote it off. And I said, yeah, it is. Football is a fickle game, and I think fans have to understand that fans will be fickle. And I said, it is very hard to keep a sustainable and consistent opinion when the consistency on the pitch is so poor. You can't expect your fellow fans to have the same opinion throughout the year, to maybe want Alex Neil in at one point and want him out at one point and say we'll get the playoffs at one point and then won't say we'll get the playoffs at one point, you know, because the consistency just isn't there and it's so hard to tell what's going to happen. And you're winning one week, you're losing the other week, you're putting in fantastic performances, scoring screamers, and then not being able to turn up against a fairly average side. And you don't really know what to think as a football fan. And you know, we had the right to be positive after some decent away performances. Cardiff, Wigan at points, fantastic home performances in Nottingham Forest, Birmingham, Wolves, and we'd stuck a little run together and you're thinking, yeah, we're going on here. And then honestly, yesterday, Burton Albion, it was dire, like really, really poor. The first 10 minutes we were kind of knocking it about. It was all very chilled out. We were like, yeah, we'll probably win this. And then they scored out of nowhere. Tim Close, no idea what he's doing. He's had a pretty horrendous couple of weeks, really. He's been poor the last couple of games and thrown about by rugged strikers, and that worries me slightly going into the Ipswich game. But we don't have anything better, and I still rate Tim Close as a player. I think it's very tough to play the way he does, which is getting the ball down, playing it along the floor when you've got such an abject group around you, which he did yesterday. I'm not excluding Tim Close from criticism. I think he needs to look at himself because he had a pretty shocking game yesterday. You 1-0 down, you're thinking, we can get back into this, maybe. The tempo was off. We got ourselves back into it through one of the luckiest goals I've seen all season. Stephen Whittaker hitting a shot that was going out for a throw-in. It strikes Jerome on some limb on his body and just flies into the back of the net. And that's when a good team would have then gone on to kill the game. You know, got another, got a third, 3-1. You walk away, you're still 4 points from the playoffs. Instead, we shipped another goal. You're 2-1 down. It was a lovely little strike, actually. I didn't see it at the time, but I watched the highlights back. A lovely little chip, and you're 2-1 down, and we never looked like we were going to get back into it from there. We should have had a penalty late on, but at the end of the day, who cares? Like, it would have been unfortunate for Burton not to pick up all 3 points, and with Houlihan's reputation of diving, I'm sure Lee Probert has had a look at that, and that's certainly crossed his mind when he's had to make that split decision late on. But it was very poor. The tempo wasn't there. Whose fault is it? Well, once again, you kind of have to look at everyone, really. I don't think the game plan was great. We tried to beat Burton at their own game, that we were never going to achieve that. The long ball stuff never works. If you're going to play long ball, you have to have a plan with it, and it just looked like we were just punting it long and hoping for the best yesterday. But I'm going to quickly go onto the EDP. I thought I'd include one article here just to have a look what they've written about it. I've gone on to Paddy Davitt's article, his 5 points. He said he learnt about home truths. Norwich City might be able to turn it around on Carrow Road, but it's been nothing short of a disaster away from home this season. Tim Close, a week to forget. I'd completely agree with that. Excuses. Alex Neil said he had a lengthy injury list, but that isn't really an excuse. We had a good enough team on the pitch at the time. And Derby crunch, it's a huge game coming up on Sunday. Two teams in Norwich and Ipswich who've struggled this season and probably wanted better seasons. Very, very unlikely that we've got to this stage, and Alex Neil and Mick McCarthy are both still in charge. I think they should have both been sacked, but they've somehow got through it. It's a strange situation to be in as a Norwich fan. I'm pretty blasé about the whole thing now. I don't think we're going to get playoffs. I think there's a hell of a lot to do at the club. But you've kind of just got to enjoy the journey now. We're not going to sack Alex Neil, so it gets very boring very quickly going, I want Neil out. Otherwise, you just turn into Arsenal fans, and that is just dull. At the end of the day, we've just got to see where this season takes us, try and enjoy the journey and see where we are at the end of the season. And that is very painful to do, but if you're not going to do that, it's going to be a very painful and depressing end otherwise, because I don't think we're gonna get there. Unfortunately, who knows? It was poor yesterday, and we certainly need to change that. Anyway, if you're at Burton, let me know what you think. Are we going to get the playoffs? I don't think we are now. Yeah, thanks very much for watching. I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm shattered. Yeah, go over to the Acle Bridge, say I sent you, leave this video a like. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Once upon a time, a fairy tale.